Hello, 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 guys. Aloha Friday time. And here we are again, 7 days later, 7 days wiser, 7 days more crazy in some cases right now. Yes. And what a week many of us have had. So I myself, life is slowly getting back to normal, I think. I had to say goodbye to two of the puppies yesterday. So all we got is my one little boy, Wrigley, and then his mommy and his big sister. So that definitely makes life a little bit more calm, but oh my gosh, I don't think I've cried so much. Yeah, that was not easy, but a lot of fun. And they're going to a great home now. And now I only have one to deal with who's right here to the side of me. So hope everyone had an amazing week. Looks like we already got people in chat. Jeff B, he's got it. I mean, what is this? We're running a couple weeks now that you're first in chat. So yes. And yeah, Jeff's already telling us, yeah, his shoulders are getting the workout just from those little angels right now. So we're going to talk about the little angels. Definitely angel and devil. Okay, in some cases, they're little devils on both sides all the time. Yes. And Siren came in and is running over to the computer. So run on over, get yourself a little cardio at the same time. You're set. And Katie K just walked in. Hey, Katie K. And also, yeah, so it has been a week. We are into, what are we now? June. Jeez. Don't know about you guys, but remember, what was it? Just like a month, 2 months ago, we were talking about everyone freezing. Okay, everything was so cold or windy or rainy, or mainland, you had the snow and all that. And now I'm hearing, oh my gosh, it's 100 degrees, or oh my gosh, like right now I'm looking outside and it is just sunny. And we have AC running in the house. Yeah, it is definitely summer. Summer has hit. Hey, Evelyn. Hey, can I do, okay, I can do exactly the little emoji. And I'll see, I even look like, no. Okay, I am losing it today. Yes, you get hit with this thing. It's like Rosalind and I were discussing, we've said stuff here. It's 107. Whoa, 107. Katie K is saying it's 107 degrees where, oh my God, that is crazy. That is, you know, that's the one thing I don't mind about Hawaii. We don't have snow and all that. And I will be honest with you guys. When you guys start having snow on the mainland, I do get a little jealous. Aloha. Okay, sorry. They love to do that for tourists. And sometimes I'm like, okay, we don't need to say aloha with 5 million O's in it or anything like that. But that's life. But yeah, I do get a little jealous about the snow at times. But what I love, take the snow. There you go, Katie. See, just ship it on over. We actually, once a year, though they used to, they haven't done it in a while, COVID, I'm sure. But they will bring in snow for kids to play on, because we've got kids who have never seen snow in their lives here. At least I grew up in Denver, so I had some level of snow there. Okay, I mean, I had a couple times going down skiing in Vail or Loveland, and my brother still reminds me of me almost flying off the side of a mountain and stuff like that. So was it, Jeff B? Did I do my emoji model perfectly? Yes. Okay. I can sit here and I can do all this little, and people can do little emojis off of that. That works. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, during the summer though, getting back to with that weather bit, very seldom do we get above the lower 90s. We will get into the upper 90s, but very seldom. And which is good because we have the humidity to match it. And also it can get pretty nasty when that happens. So thank God for trade winds. It's actually very comfortable here as compared to everywhere else. Okay, definitely. You were hoping I'd do the hula someday, not now, but someday. And my hula was extended pretty much from what you learned in high school and grade school. That was the extent of my hula stuff back then, and playing around with it a little bit on the side. Yes, so, but it is fun. No, actually, hula's a lot of fun. If anyone ever has a chance to pick it up or play around, YouTube has some channels where you can learn it. pretty good exercise too. Hey, Ella, welcome, my dear. And also, but yeah, no, it's really definitely summer is coming. Summer, and today my birthday. You're past 30. Yes, you are into the best years of your life. I'm sorry, 20-year-olds out there. Your 30s and your 40s, they are amazing. I was so worried about 40 when I hit 40. 30 was no problem. 40, I got worried about. They were amazing. They were so, so good. I just hit 50 myself, and I'm a little more nervous about that. But, Jeppy, I extended my hula once playing soccer 2 weeks ago. There you go. There you go. Yes, the good old iced tea. I got my iced tea. I love my iced tea. And keeps you, actually, if any of you, Starbucks, if you're hot, we're going to the summer. I'll give you my recipe for Starbucks tea. You get their green iced tea, because it has a little spearmint or peppermint flavor to it to begin with. And you have them put no regular sugar or anything in it, just 2 pumps of the peppermint syrup. Now, if you need more sugar, for those of you who need heavy sugar, go for sugar. But that peppermint combined with the iced tea, oh, it's someone down at Ala Moana Shopping Centers who taught me about it. And it's been my drink for like 7 years now. So, you know what? I would do a whole happy birthday thing, but you know, my saying, okay, forget it. Yeah. And also, I love it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie K. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my dear. And I can't believe I just did that. Oh, frick. What did I just do? That's up forever. Damn. And also, happy birthday, Katie. No, I'm happy. You're going to, 30s are awesome. You're going to enjoy it. So now we've given a couple time for people to come on here, and if it's taken serious. Okay, Jeff starts behaving himself. We know we got to call 911. Christola girl just popped in. Hey, no problem, Christola. We'll hold out and hopefully you'll be able to pop in here and there. Okay, we'll all pray to the storm gods. Please give Christola good internet. Okay, storm gods will listen, hopefully. We'll try that. So now that we got a good size group starting to get in here, I wanted to give people a little bit of a chance to come on in, especially since I don't have the countdown going much anymore. Yeah, as you guys know, I have a way of deciding on subjects the night before, which is why I will do procrastination sometime. Sometime. And but for right now, yeah. And so last night, actually, I kept trying to play around with ideas. I sat here talking to my mom over there, and I'm like, can you think of any ideas for this week? These are things I have on my list and stuff like that, but they're just, I need something else for tomorrow. And she pulled up this whole long list and started going through, and I found something, and I was like, okay, negative thinking, because negative thinking is another one of those things that I definitely need to get focused on in my life. And not only that, I noticed, and we're going to actually address this a little bit later today. It's something a lot of us, I've seen it in Discords, where a lot of us get, and I'm not talking negative thinking about other people. It's negative thinking, self-thinking is what I'm going on today. When those little angels and devils on your shoulders, especially that little devil there, okay, starts telling you things about yourself. And even worse, you start agreeing with what that little devil is telling you. And so that's what I wanted to talk. Hey, Rosaline, Drum Tribe about to start. Go play that drum for us. Oh my gosh, I wish I was there. Take some pictures. I want to see some of the pictures, Rosaline, okay? And Rosaline's having fun, guys. And Rosaline is going to run Cantina for me again tonight. She is the bomb, and I will join you guys after rehearsal is done. I do have rehearsal for the next couple weeks, Monday through Friday. But once that's all done, back to normal. But yeah, so negative thinking, I've started noticing as I'm on Discords, people will make comments. I've done it myself. In fact, I just caught myself doing it. Christola said a really sweet thing to me, and I almost replied back, cutting myself down rather than just accepting what she said and say, oh, thank you so much. Okay, I almost instead turned it into, oh, thank you so much, and made a stupid joke about myself. And I'm like, wait, that's that little devil telling me right now to think badly about myself rather than good about myself. So thought we'd actually address that today. Negative thinking is something I think all of us do. Every single one of us in here deals with negative thinking at some point or another. Sometimes about ourselves, sometimes about other people. When we're doing it about other people, it actually starts affecting our friendships. It affects our relationships. Certain things that go on, for example, okay, you could have family members, okay, and you start making comments in your head about the relationship you have with them. And before you know it, those comments, which may or may not be based in fact, are starting to affect the relationship you have with that person. And now, on the other side, negative thinking towards yourself. And this is where I wanted to focus more on today, is the negative thinking about yourself. Negative thinking about ourselves really makes some pretty negative changes to ourselves permanently. Things that we have to work on very hard. Okay, it leads to changes in our self-esteem, what we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, how we walk around a room. Okay, whether we are comfortable going out and, okay, here in Hawaii, you see people taking pictures all the time. Okay, thank you, Christola. Yeah, what you said meant the world to me when you said that. So thank you so much. And but I see in Waikiki, I'll be walking around or whatever, and you see people taking pictures of the group, and you have that one person in every group who's like, no, I don't want to be in the picture. I look horrible and stuff like that. Every one of us have heard that. Okay, so our negative thinking starts affecting these people, maybe the most gorgeous people in the world, but they think they're ugly because that little devil is on their shoulder telling them that. So self-esteem gets hurt. Other things also start happening. Okay, so depression, anxiety. As you start believing these things, you become more depressed. You start living that life on edge where anxiety is kind of right always on the edge of everything you're thinking about. So negative thinking is more than just words that come out of our mouth. It becomes a physical thing based off of how we accept it or don't accept it. So what I wanted to do today is just kind of go through that and talk about how negative thinking, okay, those little personal devils on our shoulders are affecting us. There's a number of different types of negative thinking. Okay, every one of those little comments those devils say has its own terminology. We'll go through those terminologies today a little. Here we go. There, that's a little better. And so starting that, and then after that, I wanted to kind of go over what we can do about it. What are some steps you can do to change that? And then lastly, I'm going to have someone from one of our Discords and lives join us on channel real quickly so that we can talk about something that's happened recently. Something has happened on a couple of our Discords where I realized a lot of people, including myself, because I had the same thoughts. I had an excuse not to be part of it, but I was like, you know what? I would probably have done the same thing. And I want to use those examples that all of us, everyone in here knows about what happened with it. Okay, I'll just tell you this right now. It has to do with makeup. And all of us knew something that was going on with that. And if you go back, once we're done with this live and look at the comments so many of us said, you start seeing where this negative thinking starts taking place and how we all need to figure out ways to address it. So wanted to start with some of the different ways of negative thinking. The first type of negative thinking is catastrophizing. Okay, catastrophizing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I knew I was going to have problems with that word. Okay, making a catastrophe out of anything. Okay, it could be something as back when you were in school. I don't know how many of you were perfectionists in school. Okay, where you had 1 A minus and oh my God, your whole future was dead. We all know the students who are like that also. Okay, oh, come on, use my words, just say it. Yeah, exactly. And you get that one negative grade, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get into the college I want to. And if I don't get into the college I want to, it's all because I got this one bad grade on this. And it just starts snowballing from there. Okay. You get anyone who's ever seen my face, it's really bad right now. But I'm going to say it out loud. I have bad rosacea. Okay. I right now have tons of foundation on it, just so it does not look as bad as it could. Taking something like that and like, oh my gosh, now I'm going to use that as the reason for everything going on in my life. Okay, because I have these, sorry, it's this side, well, it's this side too. And because of all this stuff, people are going to be looking at me the whole time instead of listening to me. And then they're not going to listen to me. And in the future, they're not going to want to listen because I'm not going to sound right. And that's what this type of negative thinking does. It's taking something small, one small, tiny little thing, and turning it into this huge, thank you, Christola, huge thing, okay, that does not need to be there. You're turning it into something that it's not to begin with. Number 2, overgeneralization. Okay, what overgeneralization would be is you take an isolated individual incident, something that's just happened once, and you spread it to everything. You're going to realize a lot of these things are very similar, or they kind of share sides, or they even build on each other. And that's what I noticed as I started looking at this. Hey, Sandra, how you doing, my dear? And you start noticing these negative thoughts start building on each other. So with overgeneralization, let's take a thing. A lot of you guys know I do theater. Okay, so let's take, you're going to go audition for a show, or you're going to go for a new job or something, and you don't get the part. You don't get the job. So now, because you didn't get the job, you didn't get the part, it's because you're a failure. You're no good. You're not a good actress, or you're just not good in creating relationships with other people. Thank you, Katie K. You hadn't heard? Never, Siren. No one ever knew that I did. Yeah. Someday. There you go, Jeff. Oh, I can see you. And hey, we should do a Zoom theater with everyone. Okay, anyhow, I'm going off subject there. And so you take this overgeneralization idea, this one time that you did not get a role, or you did not get a job, and you spread it to everything in your life. Everything is because of this one thing. Okay, I can't create relationships. I cannot talk with people without saying or okay or whatever. They only saw this, or you start, everything led up to this one thing. You're overgeneralizing completely. When in reality, it might be just they don't want someone who is as tall as you. Or if it's a job, maybe it is they had someone who had just a little bit more experience than you, and you didn't even know it. But you, that little devil, is sitting on you, telling you right now, oh, no, it's because of all these other reasons. And next, mind reading. Here we go with our good old-fashioned mind reading. And this is going to take us back to our 4 agreements that we talked about before. Damn, those 4 agreements keep popping up over and over and over. And that's why I can't keep telling people enough times. Do go take a look at those agreements, because they are really, really helpful. Every time I do one of these lives, something is popping up from those agreements. So with mind reading, go back to the agreements of making assumptions and not taking things personally. So mind reading is you walk up to that some person, okay, you're out going to Starbucks, and you run into a good friend of yours there. But that friend is acting kind of weird. They're not acting like their normal self. They're kind of a little standoffish, or, okay, they're just, something's not right. And all of a sudden you start thinking, oh shit, okay, something's, you know what? I bet you it's because I said something last time we were together. I said something about their clothes oh, damn, why did I say that? Because I bet you now they're blaming me for that. And I can't, so you start getting into all this thing of reading what's going on when in reality, that person may be sneaking out of work at that time and just not want to have been seen in public. Or maybe they're rushing and they're just don't want to come straight out and say, hey, I got to go. They don't want to be rude or anything like that. So they're just trying to figure out how to, they may have had something just happen to them at home. We don't know. But when the negative mind reader hat comes on, we start looking into that. And what that does to us a lot of times is we start becoming self-conscious. Okay, that self-esteem issue starts popping in. And we become more anxious about things because we're spending our whole lives worried about what everyone else is thinking and allowing those negative thoughts to tell us what they're thinking. And we start to recognize real quickly that, oh boy, this is a problem of mine. That's a problem of mine. I've done this wrong. I've done that wrong. Okay. And the next step that goes with that is because we are having our self-esteem hit, because we are questioning ourselves, we stop doing new things. Because all from this mind reading idea that we are horrible on this stuff, that people get into this idea that, well, I'm not going to try anything else because if I try anything else, I'm just going to fail at that too, because I failed at this so far. So it all starts snowballing. Crystal, I think we got a lot of people who are working right now. So everyone definitely will be popping in, I suspect, sooner or later. And so I love your goofy moods, Jeff. Jeff is our goofy, and I love having Jeff around for that. Our next thing is minimizing everything. So we downplay our accomplishments. Say you are doing something and you succeed at it. But you know what? It can't be that big because other people succeed at that all the time. I mean, come on. I'm doing a YouTube. Okay, take it to YouTube right now. Yeah, I got a channel here right now. And, oh, yeah, I've got this many people in the room. Or, oh, I had this many people watch my last video. But, you know, look at all these other people who are here on YouTube. I mean, come on now. This is nothing. This is nothing. No. Take and celebrate the accomplishments that you've made. Okay, make sure you tell yourself that even the smallest, you would tell your child that the smallest accomplishment is an accomplishment. It's not something to look down on. So why do it to yourself? And so over time, what happens, because we're always minimizing everything, and I'm reading your mind, Jeff. Yes, I'm reading Jeff's mind. And over time, because we're always minimizing things and we're not seeing anything to celebrate in our own lives, we slowly stop doing the things that are going to allow us to enjoy those things. It's going to affect that, again, self-esteem. It's going to affect that because we're not going to continue trying to do something new. Okay, why would you try to do something like YouTube if you know you're never going to be able to compete with other people because there's always going to be someone else higher that is better at it than you or has more viewers or whatever. So you never try anything new and you just keep talking yourself down. Your anxiety builds because you're always like, oh shit, I can't pull it off. I can't do it. Depression, same thing. Okay, you start feeling down on yourself all the time because you're always screwing things up or you're always just never able to make it as big as you want to make it, whether it's in a relationship or whatever you're doing. Next is something we have a lot of talk in my family about this, and that's black and white thinking. Now, I'm not talking racial here. I'm talking plain out old black and white thinking. I personally feel a lot of miscommunication, a lot of arguments, a lot of things come down to this way of everything has to be black and white. Okay, there's no shades of gray in life, it seems. When in reality, life is nothing but shades of gray. But from an early age, we're in a society where everything is more scientific. Okay, yes, you have arts. Okay, some of us really focused on arts, but in the arts, you get more of the gray. But in school, you were taught things are black and white. Okay. There was that red pin, which is going to make sure that when they're grading, everything is black and white there. Okay. This was right. This was wrong. And certain classes, there was no getting out of that. And yes, Michael Jackson did sing that song from what I hear. Yes. So in black and white, everything has to be perfect. Black and white thinking is, if I don't get this exactly right, it's wrong. So in the end, guess what? Nothing's ever good enough. Because I don't know about you guys. I can tell you for myself. Hello, Jets Mom. And I can tell you for myself, I am never perfect. So how the hell in a black and white thinking situation am I ever going to make myself happy? So finding that black and white and deciding, you know what, it is fine for things to fall in the middle. It's fine for me to succeed at this level, or it's fine for me to find other ways out of a situation. It doesn't always have to be this way or that way. Success sometimes can come somewhere in the middle too. Next is actually maximizing. So with maximizing, kind of goes along with what happened at the beginning. The first one we talked about, catastrophizing, that you're only allowed one mistake. And that one mistake means you failed. So let's go with two different ideas, okay? First one, acting, theater again. Okay, I'm in a theater mood. I'm sorry, guys. You're stuck with me in that. Okay, say you are on stage or you're giving a speech at work. Someone's asked you to give a presentation on something, and you have worked really hard on everything, written everything out, and then all of a sudden you drop a line. You forget a sentence in your presentation. You get done, and everyone else in the world can come up here and tell you, oh my gosh, that was amazing. You did so good. But all you can think about is that one sentence that you forgot. And that one sentence being forgotten has now ruined the whole thing for you, because it's all or nothing for you. And so the same thing, okay, like I said, with doing a speech, doing acting, anything like that. With your children, okay, maybe you've been helping them study for an exam, and they end up getting something wrong that you guys have worked hard and hard and hard on. However, there are people who would actually blame themselves for their child getting that wrong. Because, oh my gosh, if I had just worked with them harder on that, or maybe I should have realized they didn't understand that answer to begin with. And so all of these things, you're recognizing a couple of the different negative thinking patterns that are falling in just that one idea there. Next would be predicting. So predicting comes very close to what mind reading is. Okay, but predicting is taking it the next step, where mind reading is like, well, I see how someone's acting, so this is what they must be thinking about me. Predicting is deciding before you even do something how it's going to end up. So someone, okay, the picture, okay, let's go back to the whole thing. Waikiki, people taking photos down in Waikiki. All of us know about, okay, what that's like. Oh, I don't want to be seen on a picture and all that because I'm going to ruin the picture. I won't be smiling right, things like that. So what does that type of person do? They go and they hide behind other people. I don't know about you, but actually when I have someone hiding in the picture, they show up more in that picture to me than if they had just stood there. That's just me. And be proud of who you are. Just go out there, smile. And but in a predicting type thing, that person is going to be like, no, I am not going to be there, because if I go there, I'm not going to smile well, and then everyone's going to know everything. Hello, Nicole H. And everyone, okay, try YouTube channel again. How many times I've heard from, okay, people, including people in this chat right now, in Discords, all that. Yeah, I thought maybe I should do a vlog, or maybe I should do this, or maybe, but I don't think I could pull that off. So they don't try. I know the feeling. Trust me, I know the feeling. Okay, it took me a little while to actually take this step myself. So I get it. I totally get it. I was predicting myself. It took me a month of predicting before I was like, you know what? Just do it, because you're not going to know. The worst that happens is it falls flat and nothing happens with it, and then you just move on in life. Starting a diet. There's another thing. I don't know about you guys, but I've done plenty times in my life. And then you get to this point, well, you know what? I failed in so many of these freaking diets in my life. Why even try anymore? Because all I do is every time I try a diet, I end up screwing up and I go off of it. And I not only, gain back the weight, but I gain extra weight on top of it. So I've now started predicting on the high waving about diets. Exactly, girl. Okay, we get to this point where we've decided, and I honestly do believe this, we can change that future. We can manifest whatever we're saying. So if we're sitting here telling ourselves that we're going to fail at this diet before we even start on it, we're going to fail at the diet. YouTube channel, whatever. It contributes, in the end, this type of thinking contributes to basically a lack of motivation. Okay, you don't ever want to move forward and do something because you already know what the end's going to be. So what's the difference there? So next would be self-blame. This is another one. Okay, back to our good old agreements. Don't take things personally. Our little devils love to make us take responsibility for something we have no control over to begin with. Okay, again, like I said, with studying with your child for a test and taking responsibility when their grade doesn't turn out where it should be. Okay, we take that on. A failed job or a relationship. Okay, perhaps you are in a job forever and you lose that job. Okay, you may end up blaming yourself for what happened when in reality, it was just a financial fiscal issue where people had to make decisions and it just matched there. So there's a lot of times where the self-blame really not only starts affecting us right then and there, but also in the future, because as we start blaming ourselves now, then we start the predicting. And we're changing our future by telling people, oh no, I know what's going to happen. Okay, I failed at my last job, so I'm not going to go work in that field anymore because I'll just fail again. And so you start working on that level. Next is filtering. Filtering is when you tend to look at the failures before you see a success. Okay, it's a negative way of thinking. Rather than looking for the positives to come first, you're looking for those negatives. Okay, say you go for jobs. A lot of people right now are looking for jobs out there. So you go out to a job and you get hired. Okay, you got a freaking job. And you're starting a couple days later, all that, but in your head, you're telling yourself, well, yeah, you know what? It's probably because no one else applied for it because, I went for 10 other jobs and none of them hired me. So you know what? There's definitely something wrong with me if 10 other people aren't going to hire me and everything. So I'm sure it's just because in this case, no one was there. Okay, you start playing that game in your head, of filtering out where the success was and instead focusing on the negative and the other reasons for things. Hey, Mama Jane, drive safe, my dear. Drive safe, my dear. And thank you so much for coming on. And the last of these types is disregarding the positive. So with disregarding the positive, you feel like others deserve more than you do. Okay, and this is something I think a lot of us, especially on the survivor level, things like that, you tend to put other people ahead of yourself. We've talked about this in the past. In past weeks, we've talked about how we tend to put other people ahead of ourselves a lot of times. So in this type of negative thinking, you are actually sitting there saying, okay, if someone tells you something or you get something, well, that's fine, but you know what? That person should have gotten that better. Okay, oh, they're better at that than I am. Okay, someone tells you, oh, you're great at doing something. Okay, whether it be, getting, like I said, the 10 person, try for 10 different jobs and then you get the last one. You're in your head sitting there saying, well, yeah, you know what? But I bet you there was someone else who probably they should have gotten it. They should have, things. It's really looking at the fact that everyone else must be better than you are at something. And a lot of these things do start building on each other. So those are just 10 of the different ways that we look at negative thinking, and it interferes in our daily lives. The problem is, what the hell do we do to get rid of that freaking little devil that is taking up too much weight on my freaking shoulder and making me walk like this all the time? There's got to be something we can do. Okay? Yeah, there's things we can do. A lot of things, like everything else in life, there's a lot we can do, but we are going to have to work for it. There are things that you can do, but you got to believe in yourself. Okay, number one, you got to believe in yourself. You got to be good to yourself. Because if you look at a lot of what we just talked about, you're not being good to yourself. Okay, you are actually putting others first. You are putting the negative side of you first. You're forgetting that you're human and you deserve love also. So you have to really, KDK, be gracious. Okay, all those, you just got to be there for yourself the same way you would be there for a friend. And so a couple different things. There's actually all sorts of different ideas. One of the ways that I had read on and have heard other people do it is actually kind of like a 3-step process. Okay, and what I want to do is kind of go over that. Then we're going to kind of bring someone in and we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth. Okay, so number one, the first thing helpful when you're dealing with this is become aware of what you're thinking. How can you ever make a change in your thoughts if you don't realize you're thinking them to begin with? Because I'll bet you, all of you out there, I think I'm safe in saying this, have negative thoughts that you don't even realize you're thinking about yourself. But if you step back and really analyze them, you'd be like, oh, wow, yeah, that was. And yes, there's some negative thoughts you probably totally get, but there's probably some that are hidden that you're not quite putting one and one together on yet. So you need to become aware of what you're thinking and why, because it's not going to help you any way whatsoever to know that you've got a problem smiling in Waikiki, okay, if you don't understand where everything's coming from. So the first step is find that out. What is it you are thinking about yourself? One way you can do that is, and guys, please take a look. I'm going to put it here right now. I think all of you guys are on Discord, but I want to take a look at this a little bit more this week. So I'm going to post the link right now, but go into a journal. You don't have to do this in public. Okay, you can in public. We got the Discord for you to do it, but grab a piece of paper. Find a nice, comfortable place, okay? If you got kids and can't find a comfortable place, take a nice hot bath for 5 minutes and do it there. Okay, whatever. Find a quiet place just for you, quiet time for yourself. And from there, you can actually start figuring out the answer to the question, what is it I believe about myself? What do you believe about yourself? What is it that you are thinking about yourself? How do you see yourself? Okay, I see myself as someone who is ugly, or I see myself as someone who just is not organized. I see myself as someone who is a great friend to other people. It can be negative and positive. Take a look at those things. Write that down. Once you write that down, take a look at it. Read it carefully. Okay, because hopefully that's your stream of consciousness writing. Now you got to review it. Where are those thoughts coming from? If you're sitting there and saying, well, I can't smile, or I'm not organized, then you've got to come up with this idea. Why? What happened to lead you to that place? Because all of that does come from somewhere. All of this comes from somewhere. All of our negative thinking comes from something. So a couple questions you can be asking yourself. When did I start thinking this way? Okay, when did I actually start thinking this way? Was it recently? Was it something I've always done that I can't even remember when I started it because it's just been my whole life? Okay, where did it come from? Okay, did it come from a certain time period or a certain location? Is it a certain way of thinking for a certain group of people? Because sometimes this negative way of thinking is actually cultural. Okay, different cultures have different ways of believing we think about ourselves and what is good and what's not. So the where did it come from could be, well, this is what I was always told was the right way to do things. And last, who taught it to me? Because all of this is taught. Go back to your agreements. We talked about domestication, where society in general told us these are the ways that you need to think. These are the ways you recognize what is good and what is not good. So think that through. Who taught it? It could be your parents. Okay, your parents may have taught, like, we joke all the time in Asian families, okay, hey, you get one or two things wrong on your test, you failed completely. Okay, it's kind of a joke about it, but you know what? Parents are very strict about, you know what, the school is good because we got to get you into a good college or stuff like that. So our parents put a lot of different beliefs in our head about what is good and what's not. If you've got a parent who wants you to get a scholarship in sports, they're probably going to be much harder on you about what is right and what is not right when you are at a game. Okay, so what happened? Where were you taught those things? Was it a teacher? Was it friends? Did you have friends who laughed at you all the time, okay, about how you smiled when you were in a picture with all of them? All makes sense. Lastly, you now know all that. You've got some good ideas. You got to release it and shift. Release and move on. Change the way you focus on things. So releasing is you now know everything. You now, not everything, but you now know where things are coming from and all that. So you're going to want to sit there and tell yourself in any words that make sense to you, okay, some sort of mantra that basically is saying, I understand why I've been thinking this way all this time. I understand that I had to, but I don't need to think that way anymore. These thoughts no longer have power over me. I'm moving on. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me get through whatever I needed to get through, but I'm moving on now. Thank you. But once you say that, the hard part also comes in because you have to be able to say, hello, Amber Ann. You also have to take the other side of being able to shift. You recognize what was going on. You've now let it go. That's the release. But now you have to find that new positive place. So it can be something as easy as saying, I know that at times I feel like a failure, but I know deep down inside it's not true, and I want to get to know the new positive traits in me, and I'm looking for those. So it's enough to say, I feel this way. Acknowledge that, because it's totally fine to feel that way. But, and there's the key word, but I need to learn about the positive side of me, and I am going to support that positive side of me. So those are some of the different steps that we can take as we're doing that. Now, what I want to do is, as many of you guys know, for the last couple of weeks, we've been having a contest on Robbie's and my Discord, thanks to Monsieur Siren Jacques, in French, yes. And we had the whole glamour shot thing for people to take a picture of them in makeup. And over the last few, I'm going to bring him on in a second, but I wanted to say over the last few, one thing we noticed is a lot of us were like, oh, but people are going to judge this. And what if they see me wrong in this? Or what if I don't look good in this? Or we started double going back and thinking, oh gosh, these negative thoughts, boom, 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 they were all over. So first of all, here is Siren. Hello, Siren.
Hello.
Hello, hello. So yeah, Siren and I've been talking about this because it was something we really started, he had noticed. And then I had been quietly noticing that a lot of us were really kind of struggling to some degree with this. How do we, it's not just trying to put on makeup. For some of us, we've never done makeup. But for some of us, it's this thing of, oh my gosh, now I got to put a picture of myself. And what if I don't look right? And things like that. So What was your thoughts? I know you had some great thoughts that popped up on this.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I mean, a lot. I mean, Amber Ann was wonderful, let me say. And she was my hero, my heroine. Not
Yeah,
heroine like in the veins. She's kind of like in the veins, but
there you go.
uh, she was the one who uh, managed to blow past her own issues, her that she admitted having with her own self esteem, and just knocked it out of the park. Um,
Yes.
but um, there were so many things I noticed everyone saying about how there was someone who said some. There were self-deprecating comments about how they thought makeup would run off their face, run away from them. There were comments about there were people who wanted to take pictures that they had taken as glamour shots well before the contest started, so they wouldn't have to do anything. There were people as like posed shots. There were people who thought they wouldn't have time, even though they had 3 weeks. There were people who just would pick up excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And I just noticed I can set I thought I could set a reward, but I can't get people past their own issues with their self-esteem. That's a hurdle that they have to cross themselves.
Yes.
Um,
I think you hit that right. And I as I was posting, Anne Brand was saying she was terrified. And I know myself, I told you, Siren, I didn't do it because felt kind of weird. I know you said, oh, you can do it. And that might have been my excuse too. That, oh, well, I don't want to do it because people will think something weird if I won and it was on my channel or something like that. And in a way, that might have been my own excuse to get through it. But I think a lot of us feel very uncomfortable about ourselves and the way we look. And every single person I've ever seen, every picture I saw, everything, people were gorgeous in it. But that's, I think, one reason why I saw the little negative thinking thing pop up, because so many of us were like, oh gosh, in fact, we had one cantina where we sat there and talked about how, well, what about it? I got eyes that are like this, and how do I hide this, and how do I hide that? And it dawned on me how many of us truly were not happy, first of all, with the way we look. Okay. And we allow that to become something that drives us. And I love how Amber Ann, in fact, that night said, oh yeah, no. In fact, I have that issue with my lids also. So what I did was I went online and I researched trying to find out how to deal with that with makeup. Because in a way, makeup is the great equalizer on that level, because it does help us hide things. I mean, Siren, you look totally different when you've got makeup on. I looked at a picture you shared with you and your daughter compared to, I'm like, wait, totally different person here. No, it's not. It's just how makeup changes things. And guys, I do want to let everyone know we're not picking on anyone with this, because I myself was one of those people that this is the whole reason behind the Lokomai life is for all of us to start developing tools that we can utilize in our own lives to become better, to take back control, because so many of us have had control pulled away from us in one way or another, and it affects our lives. So these are skills, tools, things like that, where we can come together with people that we love and care about and that we feel safe with, hopefully, to actually deal with those things. So when Siren and I were talking about that, and he contacted me about it, I'm like, damn, you're right. And I was like, you know what? Let's see. Let me ask everyone in chat right now. Okay. Out of those of you in chat, how many of you, honest guys, honest, and don't feel embarrassed about it, how many of you were scared to submit something because you were worried on what people would think you looked like, or there was something about you that made you nervous to submit a picture. And I'm just going to give you guys a couple minutes to kind of address that. And because I know a lot of people, okay, had those little issues. Let's see what we have within there. And then what I want to do after that is kind of let's go through those 3 steps. And the 3 steps I talked about with the release, the acknowledging what happened. So what we're doing right now is that first step, becoming aware of what it was you were thinking during that. So for those of you in chat right now, how many of you guys were interested? Hey, Crystalla girl, we're talking about Siren's, because I know you're having issues. I just don't like taking pictures. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, yeah, and Crystalla. So a lot of it comes down to, for those of you who had issues, and becoming aware of what it is. So what is it that holds you back from doing things? So with the picture for me, okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm speaking for myself, and hopefully if some of you guys have some things you'd like to throw in there, please throw these things in. As I said with you guys, and if you actually saw me right now with this, my skin is bright red. You can kind of see it coming through right now. But it's extremely bright red, and I've got these little bumps everywhere and all, because it gets worse on a rotating basis for me, cyclical basis. And I'm at pretty much the heaviest it gets right now. So I had the color correcting cream on it and all these other things going. And I was worried. Like I said, I had decided I wasn't going to do it because of the fact that it was on my Discord. But in reality, I was like, oh gosh, if I have to do this, people are going to probably see a difference between me in one picture, because I'm not comfortable with the way that I look. I'll be honest with you guys. Become aware of what I'm thinking when it comes to the pictures and taking the pictures for the glam challenge. I'm not the most comfortable with my skin. Now, are there things I like about myself? I love my eyes. Okay, everyone's got to find something they love about themselves. I love my eyes, but I don't like this at all. I could deal with everything else. So for those of you who came in, I just noticed we had a bunch of people just pop in. We're talking about negative thoughts. Specifically, we just had a huge contest over on my Discord and Robbie's Discord, where people were allowed to do a full glam makeup of their own and send it to Siren. And then he had a huge, really nice prize package. And we had a great, Amber, who won, did an amazing job. And I noticed a lot of other people had done some jobs online too. But one of the things that came up was a lot of us were kind of second guessing ourselves. So any thoughts on, after with what I was just talking, everyone else in chat, are there things about you hate? Thank you, Amber. You hate how round your face is. I can get that. I'm the same. Yep, I'm the same way. I hate my round face. That's for sure. And who teaches us what to think about ourselves? Yes. Yeah. Sorry, Crystal. I know you're having internet problems. Yeah, we're talking about Siren's contest because a lot of us felt a little, every time we'd share a picture, there were negative thinking patterns going on with that picture. Oh, I look horrible in the picture, but here it is. Or, oh, I don't know what to do about this because I hate my eyes, or things like that. So Jet's mom, yes, the chin under, yes, the chin under, yes, I get you. I get you that one, definitely. I had, oh, yay, Crystalla. So Lufa helped you with yours, but, and girl, and that's fine. And that's one of the things, some of it was people were not reading the full rules, and that's fine and all. But I love how all of us are recognizing right now certain things that I was hearing. And so feel free to jump in. I'm just talk, you know me. And, but we tend to start talking about all these negative things about ourselves all the time. And who is it who's teaching us this, though? Who has told me that it's bad to have rosacea? and have real red cheeks, versus the people who are amazing out there in chat who sit there and say, oh my gosh, I love your cheeks because it gives you a glow. But I'm only focused on that negative side. Who has told Amber Ann, for example, yourself, you're talking about the round face. Who has taught us, we're now moving on to this level of acknowledging where these thoughts come from. And who has taught you what is the pretty face? What is beauty and what is not beauty? Aaron, the negative is always easier to believe than the positive, and that's true. That's true. I think some of us, we probably make these comments before putting in our picture at the same time as our picture as a way to say, well, if I lose this, this is the reason why, because it helps kind of cushion everything. Good point there. And that's what's great here is everyone's sitting here sharing with each other how amazing they look at this or that and all. What we need to be doing is how do we turn this on for ourselves? How can we get ourselves to believe that it's okay to look the way that we look? And I know this is a totally different thought process than we started, but I think it's an important thing for us because it's one of those negative thought processes that not only is teaching ourselves what's bad about ourselves, but it makes us believe things about us in the future. So listen, I had to get tipsy to take my pick. So Crystal, a question, and you don't have to answer this, hon. What is it that makes you feel uncomfortable with that? Who told you that you're not? Did someone tell you at some point that, oh, this is what beauty is and this is what beauty is not? Aaron, negative. One of the things with beauty that I've been researching lately is actually beauty is very heavily cultural based. It has nothing to do on reality. North Korea, I love to follow the news in North Korea. I'm weird like that. And over the course of the different regimes in North Korea, the view on what beauty is has changed. Okay, in last dictators and all that, it was the classic Korean round moon face, okay? Amber Ann, you talked about that round face. That's exactly what they wanted in North Korea at that time. The full moon, they call it the moon face, in fact. And now it's the not Asian look, the European look, the American look, Western look. Totally different. Okay, and it's all came down to, in that case, one person's view. The leader is the one who said what beauty was. So we have the same thing here. Journalism tells us what beauty is, I think. I don't know, Siren, what do you think?
When you are, especially when you hit high school, your peer group tells you what is beautiful or what is handsome, or if you don't fit into the group dynamic of these are the pretty people, you very quickly find out that you are not attractive, and you get pushed out. So it's either conform or you're forever not that, and that carries over into your adult life unless you very drastically change that. So
true. I think you hit that one on the head right there. And I think actually what happens is at that age, we don't have the tools to fight that back. Okay, high school, you just want to fit in. So you're going to accept anything they tell you. And by the time you can fight back, it's so ingrained in you what beauty is. I mean, things like that's why my mom just woke up. And also, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to actually, this I had not planned on doing. I'm going to post StreamYard here for you guys real quick. If there is anyone who'd like to come in for a little while to talk about this, because this has kind of changed the subject from today, but I think it's an important one because people should feel happy about who they are and things like that. And none of us are, well, I don't think we have any supermodels in our community. I may be wrong, but that
Robbie,
doesn't.
that's about it.
Yeah, Robbie, exactly. And also, yeah, Aaron, you've never been comfortable with the way you look. And what amazes me is, who is it who taught us that? Who, Siren hit one thing on the head right there. Okay, our high school group was telling us that. Journalism tells us that. I think to some degree, even taking it back to when we're young children, we're being told that by our parents, what pretty is or what handsome is or things like that. The problem is, it makes this change in us that for some reason we're in our 30s and 40s and we're still believing these things rather than being comfortable and having other people have to tell us how handsome or pretty we are. But do you believe it down deep?
Well, I can tell you all this. I had a forehead lift because I had a lot of extra eyelid skin. So they took this and they pulled all this up. The only problem is, when they did that, they didn't pull straight up. They pulled off to the side a little bit. And my nose was perfectly in the middle of my face. It now is off to the side. So my formerly symmetrical face is now asymmetrical. And you will not believe how much I now second guess myself in the mirror when I look there, and I now have to cheat myself in the makeup with the makeup, and now I have to draw extra eyebrow. I now have to turn more to the side, and how much I now have to cheat that and think, oh God, what am I going to do now? Whenever it looks like I've drawn weird things on myself, and it has made my life 10 times worse as far as makeup wise. The first time I went to paint myself in the mirror, when I was finally healed up, and I was like, oh God, who is this person in the mirror? Not because my looks had drastically changed, but because my face, which had been symmetrical, was now what I thought was like a Picasso, not because I was drawing a Picasso, but because it was all off to one side. And it's still that way, and it's going to be that way for the rest of my life unless I go to more surgery to go have it fixed.
Right.
And that's thousands of dollars.
Oh
because
God, yeah.
The first surgery was paid by insurance, but having it fixed will be out of my own pocket.
Got it. Yeah, that is. But it's funny because so many people, they look for that little thing that's different, especially if you're doing modeling or something. You see the models that have the gaps in between their teeth, and it's what makes them different. But we all are in these things. We got to have this. I can see with the makeup, even though I do have to say, I like the asymmetric look. I do like the asymmetric look because it's something interesting in life, I think. When you see something that it's like, whoa, wait, what's that? What's that? I would never have guessed that, though, looking at you at all. And of course, poor Siren. Everyone's staring at Siren right now. But no,
I'm turned off to the side so you can't see it. Here.
Exactly.
You can see it now.
Oh, interesting. But see, it's one of those things that I love Amber Ann. She's like, it would make your forehead a 10 head. And also, but that's what we do. We sit here and try to put, oh yes, Jeff B puts his best foot forward always. And also, I think what's important within this, yeah, I agree, Jet's mom. You can't, unless you're really, and that's what I actually tell my mom all the time. My mom actually has no eyebrows. She had cancer and doesn't have eyebrows. So she actually has to paint her eyebrows on all the time. And I tell her, you know what? Okay, something like that, it's fine. Just just be yourself, enjoy yourself. And also, but yeah, no, I definitely think, as I tell her, we see more on ourselves than other people see on us. So, in fact, Christola, you had made a comment on one of your things. Oh, if you're wondering about that spot on my chest or something, and I was like, what? I don't even see that. Because we all see things that no one else would ever see because they're not looking that close at us. And I think that's one of the good things for us to start recognizing is that we are our worst critics. I get you, Krista. Yep, no problem whatsoever. And that's what, in fact, Christola and everyone else, that's, I think, one thing Siren wanted to work with by having this contest is give people a chance to feel happy and proud, because sometimes makeup makes you feel good about yourself. And it gave everyone, but what was really interesting is what all came with that. So I'm going to just real quickly kind of walk us through that thing. So say we were using the 3 steps I was talking about a few minutes ago, okay, for dealing with something like this. So for those of you who are out there who might have these type of issues, okay, to deal with those 3 steps as an example, okay, your first step that I mentioned was just becoming aware of what you're thinking. We just did this. We actually just sat there and talked about what it is we think. What is it we think about them? I talked about my rosacea. Siren talked about, okay, his with the surgery and all. Okay, everyone else chat. Amber talked about her forehead. Other people talked about just, I don't feel comfortable with people seeing me and stuff like that. So that's that first step. Really taking a look. There you go, Jet's mom. Did not submit anything, but you did make me get out my makeup which is good. And we actually do want to have fun one night with makeup. We are still going to do that. But becoming aware of it. So what is it you believe? So go through in your head. Okay, if you want to, I'm going to actually try to do this in Discord myself. Okay, and walk through these steps. What is it about myself that I think when it comes to these thoughts that hold me back from being my best self? And next step, where did they come from? We kind of addressed on that. Our parents, our high school buddies. Who was it who taught us that this is the only way you can look? Okay, North Korea, the leader decides what is pretty and what is not, what is handsome, what is not. Okay, and that's what becomes an issue there. So, and then last would be taking that information and saying to yourself, I understand why I was thinking this way now, because you do. As soon as you start understanding, okay, the reason why I'm thinking this is because my friends really were saying it's bad to be overweight. Okay, overweight people don't look good. People with when you're 50 and you have zits on your face or stuff like that, that's okay. So you start recognizing, I understand why I have these thoughts now. It's because I don't want people to look at me negatively. But guess what? I know that now, and I don't need to feel that way. And instead, I have discovered that I'm going to let that go. And I'm going to start working on letting that go and accepting myself for who I am. Looking for, like I said, oh, I like the way my eyes are. I can do my makeup to show my eyes or whatever. And I'm going to let it go. I'm just going to let it go. And now that I've let it go, hey, Gulf Coast Mama, how you doing, my dear? And last step being shift it. That step about you knowing, you now know what you're letting go. So what are you replacing it with? What are the good things about yourself? So let me ask everyone in chat right now. We talked about what it is we don't like about ourselves. And everyone telling everyone else, okay, oh no, that's gorgeous and stuff like that. Everyone in chat right now, if you can, write one thing you love about yourself down. Just one thing. So there's something about you that you actually like. What is it that you like about yourself? Myself, my eyes. I like my eyes. Siren, what about you? Is there anything? I'm putting you out real quick. What is it you like about yourself?
Well, I like my warped sense of humor.
Bingo. I like that too. Yes. Yes. And sense of humor, warped sense of humor on top of that, definitely. And 1 second, I'm trying to pull this up so I can share. Aha, Evelyn, her hair. And I can see that with that. Yeah, I can see your hair in that picture right now, girl. And I can see why you, I like the color actually. And Amber Ann, yes, if anyone has seen Amber Ann smile, it can light up a room. I mean, you look at that smile. Okay, go watch her channel. I mean, Amber Ann, throw your channel in there, my dear. Go look at that when she makes a joke and it just comes out. It's awesome. And wrinkles are all laugh lines. I agree with you, Elizabeth. Wrinkles are all laugh lines. That's all this is right now. So there's a lot of good stuff about you guys. And that's what this whole thing was about today, where we keep allowing that negative thought process to go on. And we have the power to stop it. It's just your heart, Jet's mom, agree. Jet's mom's heart. Definitely something right there. And that's that next step, that step of shifting and releasing and saying, okay, this is where I am and I'm going to move forward on that. So, Siren, did you want to say anything else before I'm going to kind of wrap things up here in the next couple minutes, but anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, eventually, I'm looking forward to the night. We talked about eventually the one night just doing like the Brady Bunch thing where like 9 of us all doing the makeup, just like, you know. Yes. But yes. I've noticed I did finally take my stuff to Instagram, and when I've noticed when I post something there now, I get like a response there or something. Yeah, I figure eventually negative stuff is going to happen. I mean, it's the internet and negative stuff's going to happen. But you get, like, I get likes from like people that I would never. I'm no makeup artist by any means. You know, I'm just an enthusiast like anyone else. But I get like likes and things from and people following me who are makeup artists. I get likes from the official accounts of the makeup products that I'm using and things like that. So I mean, you get support from people who are strangers and things like that who say you do a good job like you're doing. I mean, you don't have to be like a makeup artist or whatever. And so I would encourage like anybody to just go and just like throw your stuff out there. I mean, so it's besides it just being fun, it's just go play around. I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, turn yourself into a work of art, or a work of art in quotation marks, like I do. You know,
yes.
That's just what I encourage all the time. You know, I mean, you only have one face, and even if you screw up, it just washes off with soap and water. And you know, if you don't like it, no one has to see it. But if you do like it, you can broadcast it to the entire world. So that's the beauty of the internet, or the horror of the internet, depending on who you ask. So you know,
got it.
And we'll all be here to give you likes and follows, and tell you to do a good job. That's why we're here as a community. So just go get out the brushes and go for it.
No, I think that's true. And by the way, Elizabeth, good night, my dear. And I think that's the key. I myself found out, oh my gosh, someone else just popped in on, so I'm going to go ahead and let them in real quickly too as we get this all going. Hey, Mama Jane.
Hey, how are y'all?
Good.
Good. I'm still driving.
Oh, so what about you? What's your thought process on all this?
Well, I'll be honest, and I talked to a, I'm sorry, I talked to a couple of my friends there, and they know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And the relationship that I'm in now with my parents is, I mean, my old man, I won't call him my husband because he's really not like that, not anymore. But he has driven into my head over the past several years that I'm just not worth looking at.
Yeah.
And so,
You know, Mama Jane, I may be wrong. Is anyone else having problems hearing, or is it just me? Siren or anyone in chat? Anyone? Mama Jane, sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you right now. Yep, you're having problems too. Mama Jane, I'm having a little hard. Your microphone's not coming in. It's kind of breaking up.
okay, how about now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, much better now. Much better now.
Okay, good. But yeah, no, I mean, just for the past several years, I've been made to feel very unworthy of being looked at.
Right.
And, so I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to put my face up there for, because no, don't nobody, ain't nobody got time for that, right? So as I've been listening to you, and the things that you've been talking about, it has actually helped me to where I'm actually starting to reach out to people and find my voice and tell them, hey, this is what I'm going through right now. And domestic violence isn't just physical abuse, because my old man's only put his hands on me one time. But it's the mental and the emotional and the verbal, and those scars run deep. They run real deep. But the thing about it is, I know I've got a beautiful soul. And I got thinking about that the other day. And that's when I really started talking, to some of the other friends, my online Ohana.
Yes.
And I told them, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying really hard to get out of this. Right. But I got to tell you, though, listening to the different things that you talk about has actually really done a lot to empower me to reach out and to find my voice and to try my best. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here.
Proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Listening to you, girl. I am so proud of you listening to. First of all, I'm going to say something, Mama Jane. Your picture, you can say whatever you want to, but I know local wise here, you've got one of the most gorgeous faces I've ever seen.
Thank you.
You do. Oh. You have, I mean, local wise, I'm talking local Hawaiian and all that, you've got one of those faces. And, but no, listening to you, you're the one who's making the changes. Okay, you're the one who's taking everything. And yeah, I think honestly, the mental side of DV is probably harder than any physical thing, to be honest.
It is. It's really bad. I mean, everything was great, for a while. And I don't know, it's just when he started, getting older,
yeah,
it just, I don't know. It just, he flipped script. And I'm like, what the hell?
And he changed.
Yeah.
So you're going and finding help now and slowly building up that support system, which is great.
Yeah. And so when my sister's wheelchair bound. And so when she called me, yesterday and asked me. She said her husband had to go out of town to work. He asked her to go to Texas to work, and she wanted to know that if I would come down and stay with her and help her out. I said, yeah, I will. I told the man, I said, I think I actually kind of shocked him because I told him, I said, well, I'm going to go and stay with my sister for, several days because she needs help while her husband's gone.
That's awesome.
He says, well, no, you need to stay here. And I looked at him, I said, no. You and the boys are perfectly capable of taking care of yourselves. My sister is not. She's paralyzed on her left side. She can't do very much of anything.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I told him, I said, I'm going to go. If you don't like it, kiss my ass. I'm sorry. I'm going.
I love
my sister needs me. My sister needs me. And that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
he really didn't say a whole lot after that.
Wow.
Which was a good thing.
No.
It's just, I don't know. Like the song, men, you can't live without them, but you just can't shoot them. So, yeah.
Except for Siren. Yeah. Siren and Jeff are the only two
excluded. The Siren, you're not included in that. Present company excluded.
Oh, my God. No, I get you. That is awesome that you're finding. And that's the thing, girl. All of us here have a background that we're dealing with. And it's learning the little skills to take whatever step comes next. And I'm so proud.
Yeah, I'm sorry for getting on here and being all,
no,
slinging snot and crying all over the place and whatnot,
No.
But I get so emotional just thinking about, the past several years that he's been, pardon the expression, but he has just really been a prick with ears. And, no. I'm just,
Well, it's good.
I'm over it. I'm so over it.
And you know what? You're taking that thing, going with the whole idea of negative thoughts today. Okay. I'm sure you've had your negative thoughts over the years, and now you're learning how to get out of those negative thoughts. And
exactly. Yes.
And that's great.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm so happy about it. And that's what
I have you to thank for that. I just appreciate the hell out of you so much. You just don't even know.
You guys
because
are awesome.
your chats that you have and your discussions, they have helped me so much. They really, really have.
Oh, thank you. This is the community. This community. I mean, there's
and I made some really good friends in here. And little Katie K's my mini me. I love that girl to death. She is so awesome. She is just adorable.
Yes. And that's what's so great is, this community, and I think it was the community that pulled me out of chat just to talk story with people. And it's a big difference when you see that. And by the way, those who came in the last few minutes, hey guys.
Hey y'all. Hey.
Yeah, no, but I can see some of you guys. Okay, Mama Jane, you're one of them. A lot of you guys, I can see things with people as they start becoming more open and starting to talk about things and work on issues, because we're all working on issues. COVID has brought a lot of stuff to the forefront for us, and we've had no choice but to deal with it. So, but you did a great job with how everything I brought up with the pictures and stuff like that was awesome. But the way that you've been able to kind of, in sharing your story, you've helped show us how we can get rid of the negative thinking in other areas of our lives also, and take control over things. Right. That's what you've done. And for the rest of you guys, it's just really, it's something we all see every day. Okay, I catch myself, like I said with Christola, I almost caught myself going negative about myself when she said something nice about me. And I had to stop it and say, wait, no, that's not how we do it. Be proud of who you are and what you've done in your life, because you've done a lot. So Yeah, no, I'm proud of you, girl. I'm so proud of you. And one of these days we'll have to do another subject, and we'll have to maybe try a DV subject someday. So where we can talk about all that, because
Oh yeah.
I think you hit it on the head. The emotional side of any type of abuse is probably harder, I think. Physical is hard, not downplaying that whatsoever.
Right.
But the
Exactly.
emotional injuries are much harder to heal, I think, sometimes.
They really are. And you know, as far as and I remember my dad always telling me, you know, he told me, and it's true for everybody. He said, Gal, you know, beauty is skin deep, but ugly goes clean to the bone. And that is so true. It is so true. Because, I mean, a person can have the most beautiful face and be ugly as homemade sin.
Oh, yes, girl. God, your dad and my grandpa sound just alike right there. So it's so true, though. So true. And, oh, poor Jeff thinks he's gotten shot. Pew, pew, TDK, I love you. Oh, my gosh. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So, but yeah. Well, you know, one thing we are going to do, and Siren actually alerted everyone to it a little bit, is one of these days, and I agree, by the way, I agree with what Amber Ann just said. Okay, I don't know. You're driving. You can't see this, Mama Jane. And Mama Jane, I've been on panel with you a few times. You are a beautiful soul inside and out.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so true. So true. So, but yeah, no, one of these days, what we're going to do is with Cantina sometime, we're going to do a full Brady Bunch makeup thing. And we're just going to have fun, pull out all of your makeup. And it's not about contests or anything. It's just about having fun and hanging out.
That'd be awesome.
Oh,
that'd be so fun.
It'll be fun. So, but yeah, I'm going to actually kind of pull this thing to the end because you guys are going to be starting up. Yeah, Cantina's going to be starting up in about an hour. So I want to give everyone time to go grab any drinks or anything that they need.
Yeah, I'm fixing to run out of signal because my sister, she lives out like in the middle of BFE. And so, yeah, this signal out here does not respond well. So I will lose you guys, but I'm going to go ahead. So much. I really do. I just love y'all to bits.
Hey, you're awesome. You know, this whole group, every time we see everyone's face and name, we love it. So, but drive safe from all of us. Drive safe. Hearts and pat for Mama Jane. And we will talk to you next time, my dear.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye. And also, and yeah, so basically at this, let me see, go ahead. Let's see. Okay, so basically, yeah, we are getting close. It's 10 o'clock. So, wait, no, it's 10 o'clock according to Siren.
My clock is slow. The battery's dying.
Like, what the heck? It's not 10 o'clock. It's only 4:30 my time. It can't be 10. And also, but, no, I think definitely normally we'd be starting in 30 minutes for Cantina, but our dear Rosalind, thank God for Rosalind, is going to run our Cantina again tonight. She's going to be starting at 10:30. Is it 5:30 my time? So I think that's 10:30 Central Standard Time. And as soon as rehearsal's done, I'll be joining you guys. But I just got to get through rehearsal first. I might try to sneak into chat once in a while and just say hi and cause trouble, but we'll find out. So, but in the meantime, though, Siren, thanks for coming in. And I mean, honestly, this is just coming from me putting together that contest. Guys, you don't realize, Siren, that was Siren's idea from the beginning. That contest, donating everything, putting together the rules. I mean, everything. That was all him from the beginning. And it was his heart. It was his heart that he was sharing with us with that. So I really want to thank you for that, because I know we had fun talking, and we're going to continue the makeup bit, because we are definitely going to continue that.
My bottle of maple syrup and I say goodnight.
Oh my God. Thanks, Siren, though. Thank you so much. And for joining tonight on this. And also, thank you. And also, yeah. So I am going to go ahead and finish things up at this time. Yeah, no, seriously, Siren. First of all, Mama Jane, thanks for popping in. I know you were like, oh, I changed it. No, you came in at the perfect time. And I know I'm speaking for a lot of people in this chat when I say we're all really proud of you and you are making changes in your life right now that are worth it. You're worth it. So keep it up. And for those of you in chat who opened up tonight, because a lot of you really opened up, we were talking some serious subjects at times and they are not comfortable subjects, and I know it. Thank you. Because that's a lot from me to ask of you guys to participate on that level. And you guys were awesome in doing that. So thank you so much. Enjoy Cantina until I get in. I might, like I said, I might try popping into the chat side of it if rehearsal is not too crazy tonight. We are just finishing up a couple scenes on blocking today. They had to cancel last night. I found out when I took the puppy. Yeah, I lost my puppies. So I only have one puppy who's sleeping over there and I can't grab him. So Cantina time, I'll bring up the puppy. I hope you guys had a great time. I really, guys, you have no idea how much. Oh, is it KDK? No, I think it's starting at 10:30. I will post in our Discord. I will make sure to post in Discord for sure, but I think it's 10:30, and that's why I wanted to get off to give you guys an hour to kind of settle up. 10:30, yes, Gulf Coast Mama. Thank you, my dear. My little right hand right now. Thank you. And no, guys, I really, though, you guys have no idea how much I've really appreciated y'all joining me each time. I'm having so much fun with this channel. Yes, it's hard shit. It is tough to really look at these because it's not just research for everyone. When we're listening and we're coming in here, it's not just researching this and listening to things. All of us are opening up our hearts, and all of you guys are opening up your thoughts and hearts and what's going on in your life. And that means the world to me because I don't feel alone when I'm doing it either. And you guys are just the bomb. You really are. So, and I love each and every one of you. And if you guys have subjects for next week, because I don't want to have to go on to procrastination next week, and help give me some subjects. So other than that, you guys have a great next week. And you know I'll see you next Friday right here. Same time, same channel. And please subscribe, hit that thumbs up. I look forward to seeing you guys around in all the different chats. And I will talk to y'all later. Love y'all and aloha.